First off, obviously, a really exciting day to be back in Middle Tennessee. Grateful and thankful for Centennial High School. A beautiful venue, great atmosphere today, for being gracious hosts. I mean, they were absolutely fantastic. So appreciate them. And it was great to see so many fans from this area come out. It's pleasing, right? We never know what the atmosphere is going to look like. You know, there's going to be games we're going to open up in front of 67,000 fans and a lot of cowbells, and there's going to be some places that may be similar situations to what we saw today. But grateful for our fans. It was great to have so many of the families come out. And we talked about this all week, right? Not only coming out here for our fans and for the experience, not only for recruits, but for our players to see what it's like to get in a bus, to eat a pregame meal, to maybe get a little bit of a different vibe with new coordinators, what a pregame meeting may look like, and go play dang scrimmage. And, you know, for it to be our first scrimmage of the spring, I thought it was competitive. I thought the guys got out there, saw some flashes in all three phases, but pleased with the effort and obviously the direction that we were able to head. And we got to keep getting better. 7 practices in. Pleased, but got to continue to head in the right way.
How would you assess, I guess, the quarterbacks in this case? Obviously, you're trying to just put some rest, but just kind of how would you assess how they kind of handled this first scrimmage?
Yeah, look, the first scrimmage of spring ball is always the hardest, and then I think it's really hard for quarterbacks in a rotational system, right? You may go one series and get 8 plays, and then the next series you may not go for another 20 minutes, and you may only get 3. Right, so I was pleased with it. I thought they made some good decisions. Obviously, like we'll talk about all the time, ball security's got to be the #1 deal. We continue to make the checks that we need to make. I thought we didn't see some of those things out there today. Anytime you're in a red jersey and it's non-contact, it's also, you know, you're limited on what you get. But I was pleased with the overall effort. You know, able to see 4 quarterbacks out there today, which was great. And I think they all took steps to where we need to head.
How would you kind of assess this for them and even some of the other positions? Like, what do you guys more looking for? And obviously, knowing it's not fully where you want to be, but how are you assessing this first scrimmage in a way?
Yeah, I think, you know, look, I told them in the pregame meeting, there's going to be mistakes made, right? But I want to see those mistakes done full speed. And they can't be errors that we've had throughout the spring, right? If we made a mistake in practice #1, obviously I don't want to see that mistake occur in practice 3, much less in a scrimmage. So we're trying to learn from those things and get on. Obviously, I can't assess everything. I'll stand in the back end zone. So as you guys already know, I'll have that iPad back on that 3.5-hour bus ride home, grading and judging, probably walking up and down the bus, maybe get off one of the buses, get on another one as we're heading in. Budget cuts, so we can't get a microphone stand that works. But as we continue to view those things, and a lot will be filmed from all perspectives. I'll be able to sit in with the defensive staff, see what they saw. But overall, the overall assessment, right, just seeing the effort was there today. I don't think anybody looked out there and said this is a team that didn't give great effort, didn't see a team that didn't care and have passion and pride. So those things were important. We got to see those. Obviously, a lot of technical things we need to clean up. There were some mistakes that I saw firsthand at almost every position. But, again, overall pleased. I think we got great competition. But we have a team that seems to enjoy playing with each other. You know, and I actually this morning in our team meeting at 7 a.m., I shared a great quote from Coach Jenkins, who I well admire, the head coach of the Grizzlies. Anybody that watches them play, I mean, they're so much fun to watch. And he just talked about next man up mentality, playing for each other, and the way they are and the way they're built. It's all about their culture. And I shared that with our guys today, right? You know, I'll give you a perfect example. Javon Ivory, I don't know how many, he may have had 3 catches for 3 yards today. But he blocked his tail off, and he was engaged on the sideline. He worked his tail off as a gunner in special teams. So to see a guy like that, a veteran who, you know, man, why don't y'all throw me more deep balls? All those things, he was able to step up and do some things that I was really pleased with, and that's the culture we're kind of continue to try to create.
And then defensively, especially early on, really good stands on 3rd and 4th down. What do you think about how they were able to do it?
Yeah, absolutely. Look, new defensive scheme. You know, we didn't show everything that we're capable of. We really wanted to see who could play football in our base defense. And a lot of that's right assignment sound, having the ability to tackle, making some plays. And that was one of those unique things. It wasn't just the D-line that was making plays. Then the next series, it wasn't just the linebackers. It was a combination, you know, of all 3 levels, right? Linebackers, D-line, secondary, all stepping up. So it's pleased. I always want to see a defense get out there. You never want to see the explosive plays. We got to eliminate that. And that was an issue we had last year. And I think that's part of being a new defense, right? Maybe it was a missed assignment, a mental error. If a guy gets beat by pure physical speed or route concept, I understand that. But some of that stuff we got to continue to clean up. But I was pleased. What I saw the defense was I like to see a physical defense, and I thought we saw that today. Now the missed tackles occurred as the scrimmage went on, maybe some different groups in there, but getting those stops, I mean, 3 and outs, I'll take all darn day.
And then everybody on that field is your guy. Like when Ruben had that black field goal, how do you assess that as a coach? Like you know, in terms of
Great job, Greg. Great job, Greg Rubin. Whose butt am I chewing out on the field goal unit, right? And so was it a timing of the snap? Was it a low kick? Was it the wing not getting his hand on him? So that's one of those things about spring football, right? You never want to see one side dominate. If we went out there and the offense didn't score a lick, I'd say, oh my gosh, I'd be pulling my hair and probably wouldn't be real thrilled right now. If the offense sat there and scored every series, I'd sit there and say, oh boy, Coach Barnes and I would be sitting next to each other on the bus ride home. So you got to see a lot of back and forth, and that's what you want to see, the competitive nature, some good, some bad, but they're all, in my heart of hearts, correctable mistakes, right? I believe we got the pieces in place, guys that went out there and want to execute and do it the right way as Memphis Tigers.
Coach, how happy were you with the job Rodney Owens did last year? What are your hopes and expectations for him for upcoming season?
Yeah, you know, I was pleased. Rodney Owens is a guy that's had a really good career as a Memphis Tiger. I recruited Rodney out of high school, so I've known him and his family for a long time. Obviously, his career didn't start at Memphis, but he's like a lot of those guys. They go somewhere and they realize that Memphis should be their place they should have been a long time ago. And I joke around with Rodney about it all the time. Him and I have a fantastic relationship, and those are those things you appreciate being at a place for, you know, it feels like a long time, right? This day and age in college football, if you've been somewhere for 7 years that you're a dinosaur. But being able to have those relationships with him, that him and I can have those mature conversations. Hey, here are the things that we want to see you improve upon. Here are those things you can. You know, last year we had the phone call. I was on the road recruiting, and he said, Coach, you know, I'm debating coming back. Talk to me why I should. Give me the pros and cons. What about me trying out for the NFL? Tell me, be honest with me. And we had those conversations, and he's understood it. He's a leader. He cares. Very passionate, very smart. Obviously, him being from Nashville, it was great for him to return today. Obviously, we pulled in, and the first family members we saw were a bunch of people in 30 jerseys, tailgating and having fun. But Rod means the world. He's a little chipped up right now, but you know, excited to get him back on the field and excited for him to have another great season.
What do you feel like his best traits are? You know, coverage, tackling.
Yeah, so he's really physical, right? For a guy that weighs close to 200 pounds, he's one of those safeties that can play the deep post, but you also see him the ability to come up and play the run, and he doesn't mind that, and that's what you appreciate, because there's a lot of guys that say, I just want to stay back here. I don't want to mess with those guys up front, and he's wanting to do that. He engages in special teams. I think what I love about Rodney is he has a positive approach every day, and that's hard for 18 to 23-year-olds because college football is changing, and good days and bad, he comes in with a smile on his face, ready to work. And, you know, we all, look, I'm responsible for 105 guys right now. Do I like them all? Sure. Do I love them all? I'm working on it, right? So it's like a lot of relationships. I love Rodney Owens, and I think him and I have that great relationship because he cares, he's prideful. We use the mantra over on the west side of Tennessee about being all in, and he's one of those guys that since he stepped foot on campus, back, you know, a little bit later in his career, he's been all in.
Ryan, I know it's early, so you can't necessarily take too much away, good or bad. But looking at how Asa Martin came to the year for you guys and what he was able to do, just how beneficial is he in the backfield as a runner and a catcher?
Yeah, and Asa will be the first one, like, you know, we had this conversation. Asa did not get a single rep with the first team, but he made the most out of those carries that he got, right? And it was the same deal. He didn't start the season in our top four as a running back, right? He was probably our fifth string running back when the season started, but as the season went on, really the last 2 years, it's been like, man, here he comes, games 9, 10, 11, 12, and you guys probably say, man, that idiot Silverfield should have played him earlier in the season. Maybe he would be more productive. But he's one of those guys, he's still learning. For a veteran running back, he's still seeing things. He'll be the first one with a coach me, coach mentality. He got to see some really good things today. He ran hard. He's continued to learn to play with better pad level, not pad his feet behind the line of scrimmage and just go. And I think what's really unique about Asa, he has that ability to be a really good third down back as well, right? He's willing to pass protect. He's super smart, and he's got great hands out of the backfield. So those are some of the flashes that we continue to see with him. I'm very proud of his growth. And, you know, what I love about him is he's a vet running back that says, I need to continue to get better.
There were some guys, you mentioned a lot of those being beat up. Were there some guys just kind of like held back a little bit just to kind of make sure they didn't get anybody too beat up more?
Yeah, absolutely. Precaution stuff. We're always going to be smart. The players' health and safety, as you guys well know, is always going to be a main concern for me. We had a couple guys that may have had a strained hamstring. I didn't want it. In a scrimmage, it's really hard to tone it down. Maybe in a practice, I can say, okay, let's limit the reps. In a scrimmage, it's full go, and we weren't going to say, hey, there'll be thud on this guy. It would have been too hard. I didn't want to run out there with guys with green jerseys on. So we kind of held some of the guys. But what was unique, Evan, is, I've been now 7 years, and you look over on the sidelines, and I think it's really telling to tell what kind of team you have by how engaged they are on the sideline. And you got guys, I don't know if you saw, I mean, we scored a touchdown, you see guys hobbling out there to go celebrate with their teammates. And they may have not gotten a single rep all spring, or they may be a little bit dinged up, but it was just cool to see them listening to the calls, paying attention, being detailed and dialed in. And so that's why I appreciate those guys are dinged up. Hopefully we get them healthy and maybe a chance to come back, make next scrimmage, or at least for Friday night stripes.
Last one. Ball security was something you wanted to say was important before the season. Obviously, a couple of turnovers out there. Just how much do you preach that to the guys? How happy are you, but how aren't you preaching that?
So back to Frank's question. Good job, defense. Yes, we took the ball. That was one of our keys to victory we talked about and what we wanted to see. I like seeing the defense aggressively try to strip the ball, going up and making the interception. Obviously, a pick six for Andrew Jones. Those things are unique and great to see. Very disappointing, the ball security of the offense. It was an issue, right? That very first drive with the threes, J.P. Martin, very first catch, tuck, boom, fumble, ball out. The next time it was an exchange issue. I'm not going to sit here until I watch it. Was it Tevin Carter, on the handoff, or was it J.P. Martin on the exchange? Either way, ball on the ground. We cannot have that. Obviously, the interception, those things we've got to get out of our system, or we can't beat ourselves, right? College football, our conference, the games we're going to have to play are going to be hard enough. If we go out there and do it with that, put the ball on the ground or throw picks, we're in for a long season.
You know who it was that got the fumble? You're trying to find out who recovered the fumbles?
Yeah, I'm not sure because I'm back there generally trying to blow the whistle, and the refs, the refs did a nice job, but also with the knee down and all that stuff. So a lot of time that was one of those scrums. Thanks, guys. Appreciate y'all coming.